just 2 days in a row. What are you, crazy? So my next weekend, I'm going to be dead next week.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
So Friday night, we have a low kayaking trip.
Oh, awesome.
So I go to work Friday. And Friday night, we do the low kayaking trip. Saturday is Red Dragon.
Oh, I was wondering if that was Red Dragon. Okay.
All right,
And
you are
then
live.
Sunday, I have airsoft build sim.
Nice.
And it's like 7.5 hours long.
All right. Let's get some of the squats in like we usually do. Flat foot first. Hey, looks like a fox.
I'm still early for the local crowd.
Yeah. All right. Nice warm up. Stretch them out.
Hey,
All right.
what's on our toes?
Yeah, we're not done.
Okay.
We're not done. I should just
My
stretching
hips
them
are
out.
creaky and I'm trying to get them.
She's getting old. Her hips are creaky and all of that. So
No, I'm just sore because I did this yesterday.
yeah, she was at coordination yesterday.
Oh, lovely. Did you have a good time?
I did. It was great. But my body's like, what do you mean you're doing this 2 days in a row? We haven't done this very much lately.
All right, let's do our toes.
Can I say mine on Facebook?
Yes. So again, this one you're going to be on the balls of your feet. Keep your back nice and stacked. Up and then push. Down. Up, all on the balls of your feet and push. Key again. Keep that back nice and straight. Don't do this. Don't let those shoulders come forward. Do them perfect. You got the time to do them perfect. Do them nice and slow. And push those toes really hard. That's who I didn't post it. He's definitely gonna. Yeah. I tagged a bunch of people. I forgot a bunch. I don't know why I'm tired. I didn't do nothing.
That's why you're tired.
I cleaned my basement, but I keep saying I cleaned it. It looks 10 times worse. All right, get in your stance. I don't care which way. Although I hear nowadays we don't have to worry about best being all funny-footed. So
What?
push it. Let's really push those front feet. Get on those toes. All the way back. Still haven't seen a lot of people using this forward and then moving that center back and forth to change ranges. This is what we do in a fight. Back, what you should do, not only in a fight, but also in every blow you throw. This shifting forward drives power forward. It also allows you to keep that arm extended. This is one of those pieces everybody's like, you can't throw a shot from here. Well, we don't. Watch my hands. Arms no longer extended. Here we are. Bang. We can keep it out, cutting the angles. So push right up on them toes. Get that extra 2 inches out of that range. And back. And back is important. I do this back piece a lot when we're fighting. If besides here I am, I'm at the edge of range, I can push. I put tension here. And then I can take it away and pull her off balance and then slide over while she's on her front foot.
I'm trying to reach that extra 2 inches.
And what happens is they tend to lead in their shoulders. That's what I'm looking for. And then I just let them go and do my thing. So you're in control of their feet. So again, here we are. I'm pushing, I'm pulling, push. Right? So really, and then even sometimes you can kind of sneak your legs up a little bit. And you look at my back is still back here. My weight's still on this leg. But now when I come forward, I'm a lot closer. Even I can just transition to a normal range, bang and hit. So there's a lot of times this gives you. It's like if I want to wear her down a little bit and put tension, I'll sneak in here. And then I'm putting tension. And I'm hardly, all I'm doing is shifting back and forth. This much. As they're going away, if all of a sudden they just want to go away, I'm like, bang. So we can actually transition on that forward motion, fall into your shot. So that's why we're doing these. The more control and strength you have in that ball of your foot and the toes, the more control you have in your movement. So let's do the other leg. Because we really don't care where you throw from, right?
Not anymore.
We don't care if you're funny-footed, not funny-footed. The idea is you should be able to be comfortable and understand exactly where you are and where you're comfortable. Good. Keep that back nice and straight. Keep stacked. Nice, onion. So be careful.
Like my foot, like you can look at it and it's deformed now. And I'm like, yep, this is probably
Yeah, that's bad.
problem.
So what's been good about these is I know a number of people, it's been good for them on strengthening their legs, knees, everything, supporting pieces. That's a big part. So let's do a little bit of side to side stretch. Just keep it warm up in, and then we'll run through these. Nick said he's been practicing really hard, so he'll show us how to do it. Good part is he has support at home if he ever wants to go and ask Nessa, because he's been teaching classes. And again, you know, we're in the society, we don't tend to do a lot of warm up. We don't tend to do a lot of drills. We don't really, because the fighting's the fun part, which is great, but I don't see a lot of boxers just go out and box. I don't see a lot of football players just go out and play football. You become good by actually practicing the stuff that you're practicing. So that's one of the big pieces. It's hard to have that discipline, and I know a number of us, especially with events and other things starting up. But in the long run, it does pay off. So, all right. So let's go ahead. We're gonna do a 2-foot run.
Hit the foot, start with that one. I do left.
Right.
And do your other foot.
Keep that high up. I caught on the second last one every time.
That's apparently the number of steps it takes
I
to
know.
drag your feet.
I need to burn this grass up a little bit.
And backwards. A little better.
Is the point of that to actually hit the same place on each rung, or just not trip on yourself?
Really, the biggest point of these is to learn your center and your balance. Because in this case, you're falling straight back. Instead of using your shoulders, you want to use your hips.
Yeah.
And then keeping your small feet under you while you do it.
Side of the ladder. Backwards is gonna struggle.
No, I just didn't know if it was-
That's a nice strength you got to shoulder.
Some pole on, give it to me. I don't remember his name.
If he was trying to hit every run for a purpose.
No, it really, the big piece is I'm not worried too much about that. The key is just consistency.
Getting the footwork happening.
All right,
The actual specific boxes are less important. At this
my
point.
favorite one, not.
No one's favorite one, hopscotch.
Remember when we started this one, we thought, when the hell would you ever use it? Again, keep your head flat.
Really fast.
So, and then, and this is exactly where you use it when somebody actually attacks you, you're down in here, right? You actually get that expand, take your position and hold. Start to loosen up.
Well, that happens when we trip on.
All right.
See how people
So
are doing.
again, if we're used to making sure we're at eye level, when we do that, when we're here and we're fighting, we're like into here, we keep that head up. Often what happens with people when they get attacked is instead of spreading those feet to get distance down and drop into those hips, they literally drop in here to one side or the other, bend their knees, and then you essentially create opportunities. Also, those shoulders turn down, all your angles start going up. And if I'm leaning one way, your opportunities on the other side are less. So you're limiting the amount of offense you have.
Nessa was looking real nice. She's got the continuous forward, backwards. We don't need to stop going.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
Well, I told her she has to keep working hard.
Yes. There she goes. All right.
And then Nick blew her up, so now she's working even harder. He said, Nick said she ditched him at practice.
Aw.
She said Nick ditched her. Though. She said that Nick had to come out to the field if he really wanted to fight. No, I'm making that one up.
Up next, we're gonna move into basics here. So just our basic drop step move.
And back. Because you're not keeping those hips under you.
Yeah, because I constantly find myself forgetting. I'm like falling apart on backwards stuff. I don't trust my stance and balance anymore.
Well, some of that comes with weight change. So
Tripping over myself enough times that I walk across.
gotcha.
Check
All
on
right.
everybody. People still going, so we'll give it a second.
Cool. What do we got? Did Grimmer ever show up?
Yep, Grimmer's
Yeah.
there.
All right. Good to have you, Grimmer.
Alrighty, on to the wide skiers. So get a little lower, get a little wider.
So again, this is where your toes, those strength in the toes really matter. Because again, we're trying to lean as long as possible. This foot's off, and then you spring with those balls of your foot, and the toes are there. So again, here we are, back in your stance. Don't do this, where your feet are coming together, not helping you. If you can't go all the way, don't go all the way. But even for me, I've been trying to get even farther out. So work on those pushes here. And that's not be careful your knee on this. And backwards. Go ahead. Yeah. It's a good idea to get your body a rest.
We would get into the fall and be like, we're here now. Little one, little cheek.
Yes. All right. Okay.
Now we gotta switch up the feet into the shuffle version. So starting with that outside foot now.
Yeah, to remember with the shuffle version, that front foot can create a little bit of hop. Head up. Don't do what I was doing. Okay, go ahead and go backwards. Yeah, I was looking down. That's the bad habit. Wrong way. Go ahead. I blew it. I got to restart. Remember, your back foot goes behind the other one now.
I just walked into the camera. It's cool. Oh.
So again, these you can try to make faster, slower. Sometimes those are going to be literally done into a 45.
Oh yeah, that's what's next.
Okay. One bad habit we have, Louis, is remember this, and I'm just trying to is that we'll do that shuffle step. Me and Louis are in about the edge of range right here. I can lean in and throw. I can lean out. He has to step or lean hard in and throw. So if I do this, I am out of range. So your point, Louis don't care anymore. So I made movement for no necessary piece unless I literally want to get out of range. So this shuffle step may be, I'm in the same range here. We practice this later with the 45s, but remember that as we do steps like this, if I'm going to dive in a corner, I don't care if that's the drop step, dive in without, if I drop step straight out here, Louis don't care anymore. I don't have any pressure on him. The reason why we dive into these corners like this is because they have to turn and reset back up. So this is applying pressure and giving you a chance to probe and look for opportunity. So be careful, because what I've been seeing is a lot of people, they're shuffling and they're out. Now I'm not doing much. Now I'm doing more.
Where it benefits to pull back out those circle drills we were doing before, where we literally drew a circle around the pedal and moved around it. That's what we want to do. You can draw even bigger circles if you want to practice it at longer range.
Right. But all of these steps lead into that. Even on a jab step, if I'm way out of range, jab, then I shuffle. I'm still in shooting area. He still has to worry. If I do this, he doesn't care anymore. He can relax and breathe. His tension goes back down. So,
In fact, I might even get a shot on you as you're going out of range.
yeah, because now you can actually, especially if I'm rolling over here, my sword's actually away from him. He could fall in and attack my shield, and I'm sideways. So my hips are off. So that's one of those pieces that you have to be aware that you want to make sure that when sometimes you're going to move just to keep that jog up. And then you're going to dive into something. But when you dive in, make sure you're diving into areas that actually threaten your opponent. All right, next one.
You move just to move, though. People will absolutely tell you not to do that.
Yeah, and they don't realize moving to move is not necessarily a terrible thing as long as you're not burning out too much energy.
So on the topic of turning corners, we're gonna take that
Huh?
shuffle step skier we were just doing,
Oh, yeah.
crank it over
Oh,
at a
yeah, I
45 and do it
Moving the move,
around.
I know. Well, she gets it all the time. Kelly did the same thing.
It's okay, he was right. I was just turning.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Calidor's here. Yay. Right there. Yep.
Little box for
Oh, no. All right, backwards. So again, I'd like you, but and Bess, I know you can only do so much here. So Nessa, though, and Grimmer, I want you to try our normal one where you're just dropping this hip and creating that 45, dropping my hip, right? But I also would like you to try one where you're like punching this hip back and creating a jump. A little bit more like Tyson does his. So, but and you probably want to do that forward, just because it's a little easier. Again, you're looking here. The idea is to kick this hip forward. And now you're like literally whipping that leg around. Well, feet are up in here. Feet can come together a little, or they don't have to. So that's I always called them Mike Tyson ones. Actually, Cusimano, his trainer, and he's done that with a number of others. So you can see that in a number of great fighters. They use that technique. All right.
We'll move on to adding some steps. Now we're doing a 3-step. So take a step forward, shuffle across.
Get down into this. Really get down into it.
Yeah.
Keep that hip forward. Pelvis forward. Set her up over there. Yeah, I wouldn't set up in the woods. We're gonna fight mostly over here. Like dryer. But you can set her up under the tree over here.
Try not to run into the camera again.
Slide. Get that hip under it. Pop that hip. This is and I tell you, we've seen a number of people have this issue, is that this hip pops out.
Yeah, they don't go full lean, but the hip
Yeah, you
pops
don't go
out.
full lean, but
So
this
the bottom
hip
of the
pops
spine
out
is tipped
and then
throws your
kind
balance
of
off.
throws some rotation away. So be careful of that.
And it throws your whole balance off.
Yeah.
Even if this top part is nice and vertical, if that's kicked out, I can't actually balance very well now. But you don't have to go this far. We exaggerate this to show it. But like this is almost just as bad.
So beware. And that's one of those things you almost constantly have to think about.
Yup.
So this is also really important because when I buddy up against a fighter, sometimes, like here's something, if we're in that A range, that real close range, if I'm here and this is kicked out, we're grappling with her upper body here at best. Yeah, I can kick this in. I can literally push the pelvis out and create some bigger opportunities by now I will get a lean to create distance.
And you'd be amazed
Defensively.
how much safer you feel just going from here to here.
Right, because now it's easier to pick up those blocks, deep blocks.
Like I barely moved, but when we actually tried this lining up with him actually throwing things at me, I was like, I'm really scared. I'm invincible. So, like it works.
All right, we're going to go on to the next one. So those are little tidbits on that hip and how important those are.
Okay. So now we're going to take that one and make it a little bigger and actually let our feet cross. So we're going to do that forward step and then go ahead and cross all the way behind, but keeping hips forward always.
And keeping those feet pointed as much forward as possible. Because the trick is if you're here, you take this step and you kick this foot, and it turns sideways, so is your hip. Right? So you got to be a little careful. What I try to do is kick the whole side of the foot sideways. That makes for a much better scenario.
You can focus on your hip, your knee, or your foot, whichever one ends up actually putting your leg in the correct orientation.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true.
And then backwards, yeah. That whipping of that front foot really creates distance. So that's something to remember. Go introduce you to after you talk to him about it. All right, what's next?
Next, we're going to move into our 4-step. This is just stacking a bunch of little drop steps on top of each other, going sideways.
Not purposely. Yes.
Yep. Same page.
Oh, we're doing the triple. Okay. Sorry. Sorry, I'm doing the wrong one.
4-step.
Again, even with this one, remember when you're doing this with an opponent, if they track you, it's perfectly fine. So here we are. We're still in range almost the entire time. If they don't track you and they just circle, I go right out of range here. So you don't want that scenario to happen. So you can still do this if they circle again. Now, because I started switching back side to side, what happened is they're not sure where to turn, so they back up.
They run away. Sorry, I start tracking you later.
Exactly. Well, we got three.
You might have new people coming soon.
Yeah.
We were saying maybe the next one.
And we have Tully and a couple other people, so. Gonna take a look on video. That's the way, Nessa. Nice work. Bend those knees. Awesome. Let's see how Grimmer's doing here. I expect you guys to already be perfect. So now you guys can add different stuff as you want.
I'm having a bad knee day. I got the 2 heavy duty knee braces on, so.
Okay, so you please be careful, okay?
Smart decisions.
Big smart
Hooray!
decisions, that's right.
We like those.
I see we got Wolfram and Alessandra. You do. Hi, you guys. How you doing? Hopefully you're having a good day over there. All right. Back to side.
Hey, sorry, we're okay. We'll put the camera on in a moment. Hello. We just come back. We were taking guests out for the day, so just trying to settle the cat down, drink the coffee, and camera on in a couple of minutes.
Somebody's
No
got to make it
problem.
better.
You guys know the video's out there, so if you want to start from the beginning, it's all good. All right, next one.
All of our quick feet. Our lateral in and out first. So, all the way in, all the way out.
And I've got the wrong camera
We've
plugged.
got the wrong camera. We'll do
Hold on, let me get the right camera.
No.
Gotta hate it when you have the wrong camera.
No, we've got our wrong camera
We've
plugged
got the
in.
wrong
We're
camera.
on the right camera.
We'll sort it out.
Yeah, we'll have to drop out, switch cameras,
Yeah,
and
we'll be
come
back,
back
we'll be
in.
back.
Marco.
And then the other side.
I don't think they brought him today.
What's that?
Probably getting ready for school stuff.
The kids, no, they're here. I think they're in the playground.
Oh, never mind. They're in the playground apparently.
Other foot. Do this one the right way. I went left first. Went right first. No, I got to do that. All right. Remember, that's a really nice step when you're fighting somebody. I could be way out here. I could be like, without stepping on a ladder. The idea is I
There's
can
no
see what
ladders
he's
on the
gonna
risk
do.
field. Fine.
So if he backs up, I'm good here. Now I can make another step if I want. If he doesn't back up, now there's tension in him. So I may do something different just to keep that tension. The next step might be like, and turn. So again, let's do that on camera. The idea is find out what they're gonna do. He backs up, I don't care. I could do something here. I could literally go and then break into a faster run into a corner. But if he just turtles up, then I want to go ahead and rotate. I could end up for a nice wrap on that. But I'm probing to find out what he's going to do. In this case, we're probing with distance and feet. So that's the key. All right, next.
Probing.
There's fine.
What does this button do? Right, now our forward in and out. Deconstructed hot
Yeah,
food.
I don't know, man. Go look at the kiddo. Let me know everything. If you guys need anything when the day comes, let me know, okay?
You should come over. We just finished
And backward.
the floor on the back room. It's all done.
After we adjust. There we go.
It's amazing. Yeah,
We'll catch up.
I'll
Sweet.
And I'm running her over. Ah. The
It's the
foot,
legs.
legs,
And the feet.
straighten that back. Get those hips underneath.
Yeah, I was totally
You're totally
teacupped out.
Yeah, you're totally duck butting it. You got it.
No
Try
duck
it again.
butts.
So don't do it with the duck butt. Try it again. Just relax yourself. Tuck it under. There we go. What's nice about that tuck under, defensively it helps you as well. Good job. Good. Now this is one of those cases where you may are like, okay, how does that fit in? Well, you might be literally stepping into somebody, bang, bang, and they shift to a side. In this, we're doing kind of the same thing. What's happening is our feet are bang, bang together, and then we maybe double shift to either side, adding different footwork in there.
I know, right?
Ah,
Throws my weight off.
my legs don't move. At least they don't move backwards. Anywho. Next into the jab jump. More quick feet jump.
More quick feet stuff. Again, two ways to do this.
And out.
There's the fast, and then there's the one where you're totally controlling where your balance is. Like Ingolf here is totally focusing on where his balance is. So he's pushing his hip forward, whole body comes forward, whole body goes back. You see how straight his back stays. The other way, what happens is on these quick ones, people tend to do this a little bit. So they end up getting that little bit of duck butt on the second one. So their body isn't moving. Again, this is all about really small shifts of your balance. So that's what we're learning in this one. It's also a great pressure scenario. Because you're able to jab into range and then almost jab back out of range. Switch foot.
Are there no rules for this, or is the foot closest to the ladder always the first one to move first?
So with that foot closest to the ladder actually almost lifts up. There ends up being, and you're on the toes of your back foot. This pushes your hips, push forward, you're falling. And this one lifts, and you fall back. So it's literally like fall forward, fall back. You can see if you lift your feet, you can see how it's executed. The trick is push your foot with the ball of your foot pushing forward. So this foot's up, I push my hip, there I am. This foot's up. I start leaning back, I push off on those toes to get back. Fall forward, fall back. So it's pretty much the key on this is that ball and that strength of that toe drives it. So if you don't have, like in that last one I just did, everything ended up being literally on my toe. A lot of people can't, this is why we work those pushing, kind of push stuff at the beginning, getting on our toes, more strength. Because otherwise it's just on the ball, and I'm using a ball at a foot. Perfectly fine, you just lose some distance. All right, switch foot.
Being on the ball of your foot is the same as being on the toes.
No, your toe is a little bit ahead of your ball of your footy. Yeah. So if you transfer here on the ball of the foot, just lift your front toe up. That's the ball. Now you feel your shift into the ball of your toes, like your carrier on your toes. Oh, yeah, not with your feet, right?
It's not gonna be a thing for a while.
Okay.
I haven't done switch foot in a while because I forgot to put it
I
on
know
the
you
board.
forgot to put on this. I've been adding it.
Over here. Out switch.
Again, we know how this gets used quite a bit. And Ingolf was saying that he uses this all the time. I've seen Rongbalder use it quite a bit. I use it when I almost fall in corners. I'll switch feet, right? So same switch foot method. And here, again, keep your back nice and straight. Tuck that hip under. Stay on the toes. Yeah. Oh, yeah? Okay, go ahead, show them. Grab my boffer so you can demonstrate. Ingolf's going to demonstrate how he uses this for kind of a dropout shot or a leg shot. He has legs. Ready up, right?
So I use this as a setup. So if you push down on that leg, you get them to plant.
So he's pushing the onside, the closest one now.
Push the pressure here, make them think outside of this leg. And when I do that, I pop switch feet. I either step to this side and then pressure that leg. And on the switch, on the return, you go fast and throw this hip in reverse.
And throws the inside of the leg.
So from here, pushing outside. And this is another one where we're setting up goofy foot.
Yep.
You press on the outside and you get a little bit of a turn. Hop skip. Inside of the box.
And the idea, what happens is your opponent's actually turning with that pressure a little. So if Ingolf's here and I'm fighting here, as he dishes over here, I'm here. And then he totally opens that up because I am pointing the wrong way. This leg is out of the way because now he's literally shifting into the open. Like here, bang. So that shield could even be shifting right here. That leg is still open.
Switch me, you get that first pressure.
So here he goes. He pushes his pressure. Bang, right there.
Anyway, we saw that one. I thought it was great.
Nope, and that's how he uses that shot. So that's how those switch feet are being used and creating something. Okay, next.
Next. Go back to that jab jump, and we're going to now make it uneven. We're going to go bigger forward and smaller backwards.
2 for 1.
Forward and small back. Big forward, small back.
Again, try to make this one as far as you can. If you can at the beginning, it may look like your normal jab jump. But this is where that toe comes into place, that strength again. If you can roll a little bit farther forward, and then it's bang, that's the strength, and the feet grab the ground. And then you're just back. You get that back. Bang, bang. Okay. I use this one quite a bit to constantly put tension on my opponent when they seem to relax. So if they've gotten a point where I push and I come back, that way I can pull them back, especially if they're already in a half breath. I'll pull them right back. You only give them a half breath, make them suck in bad air, and then I can go ahead and continue working. All right, the other foot. Yep, switch feet. Then we're going to work it backwards. Backwards the other foot. Fighting bunion. So remember on these jabs that you do a jab forward and back, but that break can go either way. So the idea is if Ingolf's if I jab, here's the jab away, I'm going to do a jab forward first. So if Ingolf doesn't stay, if he doesn't stay in place, I don't care. He's going to leave. I can go. If he stays in place, I just put pressure. I can come back here. But I'm giving him time to breathe again. I can literally back into that corner. You notice I still stayed in his circular range. So he had to do something there. In this case, he fell back. Key here is, again, I'm probing with my feet. If he starts running back, my first step might be a little shorter of a jab. And then double it up. That's the double jab in boxing, where what happens is you want to see if your opponent's going straight back. Bang! Now I'm right on top of him. He didn't expect it. He saw it both times. Yep. All right. So that's how that double jab works in boxing and here. You get a lot of use out of that. All right.
And the final one, our turning step. Oh, give that big old flip around. Make sure your toes point down the ladder in the direction you're moving, / at your imaginary opponent that you're moving around. Back foot.
Remember to yep, point that foot down the ladder. Make that nice transition. It should be nice and slow. We're flowing. Hip goes forward, then it changes into reverse. Then hip goes forward, changes it into reverse. We're getting a flow in that hip. This helps with a lot of other change of angles while you're fighting. Exactly. Right. This isn't the jab. This is literally, I want to do something here. I may start here, and I may go ahead and kick that foot and literally. So here I am. I'm again in front of her. I can take a small step here, right, and turn. Short step. Short step. Long step. Right, and I could slow this down. Bang, hey, and then speed it up. Exactly.
Like, I'm chilling. There's nothing happening.
Exactly. And that's
Pretty much
the key.
exactly what happened. He was like, you.
And that becomes really the key, and we'll talk about this later. about owning your own fight. All right, so there's a couple more here. Let's do the front foot turns.
No, I walked over and I picked up what I thought was his sword and shield, and it was his sword and somebody else's shield that was laying right next to it. Yeah, I mean, mine.
Hey, I'm getting better at those short steps.
Different weight shifts. Learn all the weight shifts.
Again, this is great work for, especially when you start nice and slow. This is really good work. And you can see Fox is really being slow and careful and making sure he's doing these right. Two things happen here. One, he can trust his knee. He's making sure that that knee isn't causing any issue. He's almost essentially kind of rehabbing it, but you have to be careful. This front turn, twist that knee out a little bit. So you want to make sure that your body brings it. Your knees are bent. If I go here and then I twist on this foot, you should be hip over that foot. Hip over this foot. Because then your hip, this one goes here, your hip is over it, and you're just falling into it. If your hip isn't over it, then you're digging, you're using your knee to turn you, and you don't want the knee to turn you. Hips over here, bang, right? Hip is over my knee. So you want to make sure that hip stays over that knee, and if you have good flow balance, that's where it should be. Yep. So here, so this one. Think about taking this and falling right here, and just step with the fall. So take that back one. Here I'm stepping right on it.
That feels more peg leg. I was doing the
Yeah, you're doing that
front leg one.
turn. Yeah. So the
where I'm almost like.
see how now you see how your hip isn't over it. Make sure your hip is over it.
Oh, so you're almost falling on it.
Yeah. See how much easier
makes
that
way more
is.
sense.
Yeah. So even there, we're learning, and this is one of those keys. Now he can trust that. He's literally his hips over that leg. Now he can move without any hitting. And then you're skipping. Yeah. Where the other way, you got a lot of twists. You're actually using that bad knee to turn.
This feels awful.
Right. But this falling here, right. See, your hip was right over that knee. And falling. You're literally falling directly in the ground. So, all right, so that's one of those scenarios, and we can do these backwards if you haven't done them backward ever before. Again, this time the foot turns the other way. So the idea is you point your foot down the ladder the opposite way, and you're just falling right on. See, my hip is over the knee as it hits the ground. So that keeps that stability much better on those legs. And also, this is one of those keys where you're practicing something. The more you practice this, the more likely you're going to do it in fighting. So, you won't find yourself and then trying to use your bad knee to turn yourself. If you're like, oh, I'm here. I'm like, oh, now your knee is supported. So this is one of those cases where, because we don't do this often, you may actually be putting yourself in jeopardy with just natural instinct, which probably got you into the point where your knee got bad. And now we're taking it and like, oh no, I want my hip over my knee, right? I want my hip over my knee. And then that keeps that knee fundamentally safe. That makes sense? Okay.
You can also try and get used to the idea of letting your foot rotate while you're doing these moves if you need to. If your knees are really that sensitive, like if you've got damage or an injury, or if you're just naturally prone to it, whatever, as you're taking your step, that one can turn some.
Yes, because you're on the ball of the foot.
So it doesn't have to turn into this. It can be.
Yep.
Now,
So here
my
it
knees are
is.
both forward already.
Yep.
And it's a little harder with tennis shoes on grass than on some other surfaces, but if that's a thing you need to do, you can tune your footwear to match.
And in fact, that's pretty much what I already do, just because I want my hip to stay with the way my feet are going, in line with my feet. Yeah, exactly.
Staying on the balls the turn easier.
So again, we're never going to be in a place where I can stand in front of my opponent and essentially be like, hey, stand right there. I'm going to get over here and then I'm going to go. Right? He's like, yeah, I'll do that for you. But this is what that may look like. You may start into, here I am, I step, I turn, and I'm over here. Right? So all I'm doing is I'm taking that back step, I'm literally putting it outside of his toe, and then I'm over here. Exactly. And the good part, and you see boxers do this all the time, because what this foot going outside that toe almost pins their foot in that space. I mean, you could do like we used to do old school. You can step on her toe so they can't move. But remember, you didn't hear that from me. But
Remember to apologize after.
Yeah, remember to
not
apologize
before.
after. What? So the key, Ron's like, hey, you stole it.
Yeah, we stole your
So
shtick.
again, if I step here in front of his toe, he could actually slide that out and now get me in trouble because he has the outside. He is owning that outside. So here I am. I could even like right on the outside of that toe. I own that outside.
And something I've noticed, especially about this one right here, is really, really important, is making sure that your upper body is still staying on line.
Yeah.
Because if not, it's a real big obvious tell, and they start to turn, and you lose the outside line. So if I'm going to do it poorly, which is what I do, working on making it better, instead of keeping my body straight falling forward, I'll start to fall this way.
And then I know he's going that way.
Knows I'm going that way. So just be careful about your body line and make sure that you're still staying kind of like belt to belt, belt line to belt line, or eyeball to eyeball. Start to fall forward, and then break that later second instead of breaking early.
And that's actually, it's a really important part for almost everything. And that includes the throwing your sword. Same thing happens in throwing your sword. You don't want it at the beginning. If I'm back here and I'm like, hey, here it comes. Here, he catches it early. But if I'm like, hey, here it comes, bang, it's too late. So that's the same thing with footwork. If I start diving into the side, he knows where I'm going. But if I literally take my foot, put it on the outside here, he's not sure.
Yeah.
And now I got the angle on.
All I knew is it felt like that range was
But
getting.
he doesn't know. I'm literally like here. I could literally take this step next. He doesn't know which way I'm going. So this is that really important part about trying to disguise what you're doing, and that leads you into you're using feet to probe your opponent to see what they're going to do. There's lots of other probing. It's with hands. And we talked about the cube around your opponent. We talked about pushing angles, making them big, making look like you're literally pushing those multiple angles, right? I might step here, switch foot. Now he knows as I'm going around the back, he has to do something. You want to push those big angles. Again, what I see is a lot of people forgetting about that when they're in a fight. Okay, what I see is like, I'm gonna push here, I'm gonna push here. Yep, I got 2 points. And they're really close. Eagle doesn't care, but watch.
Head and arm.
Now he's not
Those are my
sure.
two.
Yep, they're like I know.
Now what you're doing, and we're going to tie some of the stuff we talked about before. You're adding more thought and more decision making to your opponent's head. So this is the idea: is we have to have that empty. This is the idea where you have a clear mind to make good decisions. In this case, my mind is relatively clear. I'm actually still thinking, and this is where Bess talks about here. But I'm still thinking about. I'm going to push over here. And I might do a little step out and do that back corner. And I'm reading each time, still processing stuff. The idea is I want to see what's happening, categorize that, but then once I'm ready to execute, I know how to execute and I don't have to think about it. On the other side of that, Ingolf wants to keep a clear head. This is your fight. So the idea is if Ingolf, actually, I'm going to have him pressure me. Here I am. So I'm just going to create constant. I'm just going to stay with him in a and we'll do this again. Ready? And Louis is going to be our manual turning device.
Yeah, it's hard because you can't
There
see
he
on
goes.
this camera.
So look, there he goes. He's
where-
pressuring
what
me.
they're looking.
And now I gave a little bit back. But in a lot of that, I'm letting my body be nice and clear. I'm just tracking it. and I'm trying to be as comfortable as possible. This is where the fight gets the hardest. Is we think too much about doing something, or we think about too much about him doing something. So he's going to go ahead and give me a really hard fake, and this is what happens if I think about it too much. Now I'm done. He's right over my shoulder. So he pushed everything down. I lean, and I am done. I'm thinking, holy crap! And now it's too late compared to relaxed mind. Right? That's the relaxed mind.
Well,
Being
relaxed
comfortable
mind and ready to move.
and ready
every
in your
moment.
fights. Right.
Because my
So-
problem is, no matter how relaxed I am, if I'm dug into my feet and not ready to jump and run like that,
Right.
I'm just really relaxed while they hit me.
Right. And this is that flow state a little bit. The idea is be in your fight. My fight is like, I'm here. I'm in. I'm moving. People talk about this as a wasted movement. Not really, because what I'm doing is I'm staying in the fight. I'm relaxing.
Yeah, the
Here
trick
I
for
am,
you is
and I'm waiting.
having figured out how to not burn all your energy
Right.
while doing that.
And you notice that
It's a-
sometimes I'll make little
balance.
small transitions. So I'm out of range. I'm in range. I'm out of range. I'm in range. I'm in range. Out of range. And that's that flow with your opponent. So we are flowing. This is a really nice exercise to do. And think about, even though you're like, oh, I'm flowing with them, I have to think about what they're doing. It's actually not the case. In this case, we're just going to move together. Not even going to worry about tension and control. We're just going to move together. And he's ready to go anytime. This is his fight too. If he's not sure, he'll just break away and then he'll come back. See, now he's flowing. There we go. There we go. And I take control. But you see how we're just flowing from one state to the next state.
Sorry.
The idea in that is that we're just literally, there's hardly any thinking going on. There's constant foot movement. There's constant thought as I'm going. I'm in range. Is there something there? I'm out. I'm going to transition back and then cut over here. There he's pulling a little bit, so it's no big deal. There's that here. There's that here. Back of the side. Back into just motion. Back of the side. Outside head. He's pushing. So what's happening in that is you can see the thought happening, but you also see that really kind of dancing styled movement. Is that we're flowing together and then we're finding that space where the other person makes the mistake. And we may change how fast something happens. So in this case, Ingel's going to get me in the flow, and then he's going to change the speed. There you go. Right? So he went from slow, he's following, and then he shuffled into a faster speed. Now he might say, okay, he actually picked up the nice turn, but I did close enough range that I could possibly be dangerous to the backside. So he learned something. I did something okay, but there was still a weakness. And that's where all of this movement comes into. If we're just standing here in front of each other, believe me, that's how I became a dude. That's how Ronfelder did. Here we are, and I target it. I'm moving it around. All right, but we're fighting each other's strengths in that case. And this could be very, I mean, you're really tying in, and there, you still have this flow, but there's no flow in the feet. There's all this tension in the body. It's all up. And there's tiny little mistakes you can take advantage of. So, but your feet are already set in the ground to take advantage of them. When you're moving, you're going to find that some of the time that shot needs to come with a step. So here I got all this power off the ground when I'm ready to go. You're going to also develop power. Bang! I step into it. Bang! right? But if I'm literally just stepping and throwing, then you're going to lose power. So while you're making those, also you may be able to go here, bang, and then I'm already. The time it takes me to step, plant, set, go, ends up being much faster because I practice it. For somebody that doesn't practice moving, here he is. He's going to throw on me. So now I just changed it all by just moving to the side. Here he's going to set up. Now he has to set up. Now he has to set up. Now he's not set. Now he's setting. Now you see, what I'm doing is I'm breaking down the points where he can set up and throw with just simple movements. Again, because we practice setting and throwing, we can do that much faster because we're used to it. For somebody else that really grind into the ground, it's hard because here I am, he gets ready to throw, he's going to get set. Now he has to step up, get set. Now he's off again, now he's set. Exactly. So now every time he tries to set, I'm doing something. So now even if he does throw, he may not be as grounded and as set and ready to go, and his angles are going to change because he's not used to throwing from that position. So this is the reason why feet become a big part of the fight in boxing. In boxing, you get up in here and we just, the Mexican style of we're just going to slam it out. If he goes backwards, I'm still slamming it out and he can hit me as much as he wants. If I go backwards, he's just going to slam it out and hit me as much as he wants. It's, you know, it's a brutal way to go. We can't play that way because we've one shot now. So we got to be better and more patient at setting things up. The majority of kills come in because people are impatient. It's like, I need to do something. The shot clock is almost at 1, so I better throw. And as you throw, they're countering because you're in a rush. Don't be in a rush. Yeah, make sure. I may do that first jab in here. It's like, hey, just to figure out what he's doing here. That time he went straight back. So I kind of have an opportunity. But I might be like, I'm not sure if he's actually going to go straight back. Hey, see, now he goes sideways, and if I go straight forward, he may kill me. So now I'm like, okay, I'm glad I didn't throw that shot. So you notice now I'm testing multiple times. Or literally, I might do this. He has his arm up. I know that in this case, what happens is he's going to counter shoot me. But he knows I'm going to put tension here. And he just ducks it a little bit. And I'm like, oh, that arm's still there. But really, he knows exactly what's going to happen. So if I go, he throws that right on top of my head. So instead, I get a little tension. He does, so his arm's still there. Now I make it look like I invest more into the shot. In this case, I just invested a little bit of motion, a little bit of drop. This time I'm going to invest more motion in the hand. So now I'm good because I know he's not going to counter shot. But if I do this and he counter shots, I'm still here for a block. I'm like, he was waiting for me. He was baiting me. You want to make sure that your opponent's essentially not baiting you into throwing something by making it look like it's easy. If I first go out here, it's like, oh, I could get that. Yeah. Oh, I could get that. Oh, I can't get that because I'm dead. Right? But if I'm here and I go, now he's not sure. See, now he can't counter shot because he's not sure when the blow's coming in.
But I was still mentally prepared to return fire. Therefore, I didn't tuck
Right?
and cover properly or bail and cover properly. I was still so focused on this
Right.
space right here.
Exactly.
Just gets me in the arm.
So that's the idea about adding multiple fakes and making sure you're safe in throwing or changing the beat in which you can throw it so they can't counter you. So, there's a lot of stuff going on here. We covered a lot of this stuff. There's this flow state where we're constantly moving. That's all breath. We talk about breath. We're comfortable. We're breathing as we're moving, right? And we're just flowing and we're breathing because it's no big deal. We can talk while we move. It's not a big deal because here we are. I'll oftentimes tell people, it's like, hey, tell me a joke. Here we go. How was your day? You good? Yeah, not bad. Yeah, it's cool. Because in this relationship here, it's as you talk, you actually have to breathe and relax. So this is a really nice exercise to actually just have a conversation, set up something, create a conversation so that you can actually get into that. Because if you're holding your breath, you're actually not into it as much as you think you are. And then the next piece, we talked about clear head. That was all clear head work, right? And then we talk about being able to put doubt and probe your opponent, but also put decisions into, hey, what, is he gonna throw next? Is he gonna throw next? Oh, where's he going now? And then he's so fast thinking about other stuff, he can't make that quick decision to throw to counter. Right, because you're in the middle of it. So again, you can see that all the things we talked about, that breath and the mind and the clear mind and then adding tension and probing, all builds up into the fight. But you notice I just didn't go out there and just go and do. You can. There's some great people. If you look at the video posted Wilfred today, I think we posted a time. It's like 39 something. He's fighting His Majesty Drakenball. And he absolutely set up everything with beautiful jab feet. He kept tension on him. His Majesty Drakenball is very, man, he's a jumper. He jumps on you and he stays on you. No, it's I don't know who there's another name, I forgot. It's on the video. So I think the 2 times he hit Wilfrick is because he jumped on him hard. So you may want to make, if you let him go, if he's going to be all in, okay, he's a jumper and I got total control, and then we talk, we relax, you know the next thing he's going to do is jump. And I gave him his breath. He's like, I'm not going to stay in this game because I'm not doing it well. So immediately what you do is, if I know this guy's jumper and we're talking like, ready to lay on, hey! Oh, so now that I take his initial jump away. So he's going to jump me. So see, now he's not sure he's going to jump me anymore. Watch. Okay, he's going to jump me. He's clear. He can do it because he didn't have to think about it. I didn't give him anything to think about. Here we go. Jump. Jump. See what I'm talking about? So I gave him a little jab foot. And he's like, oh, I'm not going to jump him. You did something. Right? He's ready. So you can see that there's some control there. That's the OODA loop. He's like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Hey, duck. Right? I throw something. Hey, look at my foot.
What's the foot doing there?
Right. He's like, oh, shit. And then he has to reset. He has to literally reset the OODA loop to jump me. But now I have control.
Staying inside the decision making curve.
Staying inside the decision-making curve. There's the key. And that's what we're doing. So, all right. I think, I'm not sure, we probably spent about an hour and a half, maybe a little bit more. But I really wanted to just kind of go through some of that. This was really nice because we could just kind of flow and show you guys some of the flow, show you like some of that footwork that Ingolf used for the example of the switch footwork and things like that. So what we're doing here all fits into things we do. I think some of the important things that came out was really dropping that foot in the right space when you're doing these falls. Make sure your hips are over your knees, especially as a person that has a bad knee. That's super important. But I also wanted to make sure we tied in all of those other little pieces that we worked on all this time, and to show you how it works in a fight a little bit. It takes a while to get good at those things. You're not going to go out there and do it right away. You're going to fail. But what you have to look is you have to look at what worked. If I know, like Ingolf, he could jump me anytime. He's faster than I am nowadays. But if my goal is don't let him jump me right out. So on the lay on, here we are, ready? Lay on. Right. And I could stop him from jumping me.
Taking all
See,
that,
so I'm-
that middle space.
I'm
away.
taking the middle space away, so I'm like, hey, you know what? I stopped them from jumping me for the first 3 or 4 passes. Now watch if I don't do that. Now he's on me because I gave nothing and went defensive. Okay, so that's how that's working. So that's the piece that we have to talk to, that you're looking for. My win wasn't necessarily beating Ingolf. It was literally, I made him step backwards before jumping. I win. So first thing he's like, ha! And he goes back, okay, I'm done. All right, that was my winning for today. Right, exactly. So remember, it's little pieces. If you're having struggling that you don't believe, what you need to do is reduce those victories down to little pieces. Get yourself a book, write down the little things you did right. And if that's beating somebody, I don't care. Put that down too. It doesn't matter. Just make sure it's not always just you have to beat this guy. You need to win part of it, not all of this.
Yesterday,
Exactly.
not the person in front of you. That's not literally important at all. Are you better at the one thing you're working on today that you weren't good at yesterday? Are you this much better? Incremental change.
All right. So thank you again, everybody. I hope that was worth it. And we'll pick it up. I think next week there's Red Dragon for us. I'm not necessarily going, so I'll post out if we're gonna have Zoom that on Sunday. I don't mind coming out and doing stuff, so it's easy. Just I get here an hour early and we do it together. And if nobody's there, I'll do it by myself. It's not a big deal. So
I'll be here if you're here.
all right.
Yeah, Bess, how's that arm, hon? I'm gonna stop by.
So we're gonna wrap up the live. You guys can stay on, and we'll wrap it up after that. All right, Louis killing the live.